It is not difficult. It does not mean that because the mahol, the environment is difficult, so therefore it's impossible. That is one thing we must forget about. We must never ever say it's impossible to practice. We hear this from many, many people, and it borders, in my opinion, it borders. I don't say it is. It borders on kufr. Why? Because the person is saying that Allah Ta'ala did not know that there will be different environments, there will be different times, the 21st century will be different, 22nd will be different, and the 30th will be different. So as far as deen is concerned, it is only possible to practice on deen in the first 2-3 centuries, and after that all mankind that will come, then it will not be possible for them to practice on deen. What does that mean? That Allah Ta'ala is unjust and unfair. How can you ask somebody to do something that is impossible? If you're asking somebody to do something that's impossible, then that is injustice. So now if we are saying that that a time has come when it's impossible, I'm not talking about difficult. It can be difficult. And that difficulty also is the creation of our own hands. Most of the difficulty is the creation of our own hands. Nobody forces us to watch the TV and the movie until late night and then say we can't get up for Fajr. So who created that difficulty? Who said must go on watching the porn sites and get occupied with the internet doing research on what's happening under the waters of the ocean and above the skies and everything till 2 o'clock in the morning, and after that say that I can't get up for Fajr. So that is a creation of our own hands. Our businesses, nobody said must go and borrow from the banks on interest and then pay interest upon interest upon interest until the person's business sinks. Now who created that problem? Why didn't the person suffice? Or why wasn't he content with what Allah Ta'ala had given? If you really look at the needs of man, it's not that you must have chocolates, sweets, biscuits and bakings and pastries and everything. If you really look at the needs, if a person can afford it and he has it, well and good. Does it say every person must have a car, must have a nice car, and must have a luxury car, and must compete with the neighbors next door, and must compete with all those who come to school with their big flashy cars, and then say that I'm in difficulty, I can't afford payments. So most of the difficulty is created by us, most of it. But what I'm talking about is when we say it's impossible to practice. There's no question of being impossible.